I would like to welcome all of you to this short seminar. Okay, thanks. So this short seminar, this workshop, so basically the topic is business university cooperation and what are the good practices and can we transfer some lessons learned by the University of Gdańsk and the business partners of the University of...
Sorry, you are muted. We cannot hear you.
Still a problem with voice.
Yeah, your microphone is muted.
Yes, you're muted.
Still it doesn't
Okay,
work.
should be okay. Yes? Now.
Now,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, but I hope that it only happened in the for a short period of time, yes? Or
Yes.
from the beginning, for the short period of time. Okay, so it is my pleasure to welcome the participants of this workshop and our two guests, which are two vice presidents. One is Andrzej Poszewiecki, a vice president of Univentum Lab, which is the special vehicle invented by the University of Gdańsk to promote business partnerships and to create businesses. And Tomasz Szymczak, also Vice President of the Warsaw Modlin Airport. For those of you who do not understand the Polish airport situation, the Warsaw Airport, the Chopin Airport, the main airport of Warsaw, is facing numerous challenges, specifically because of the limited space, and this is the reason why we are creating some additional airports in the Warsaw area, and Modlin is very close to Warsaw, a very good direct connection, and this is why the Modlin is growing. My name is Przemysław Borkowski. I'm Associate Professor at the Faculty of Economics at the University of Gdańsk, and I'm also part of the Catalysis project, and I will have the pleasure to moderate our today's discussion. I would like to show you one important thing here. I just opened the web pages of both partners here, both presidents present, and one thing which is, of course, striking. Yes, when we look at the Univentum Labs, it's the web page which is designed specifically to attract business. When you look at the business web page, obviously, this is about the business, yes, so about what they are doing. So the information about cooperation with the university is not there. It is something which is happening behind the scenes. And I will stop my slides here because I want to start our discussion. So obviously, the difference in importance for the specific vehicle for our commercialization, our Univentum Labs, it is the main goal to cooperate with business. For the business, it is a supporting activity. As the business, the airport does what the airport needs to do, so presence on the web page, that connections, where the planes are landing, when they are taking off, and so on and so on. So first, I would like to ask Mr. Szymczak, what is the place of higher education institutions in fulfilling strategic goals of corporations?
You know, you have to thank you for this question and for inviting me for this thorough discussion. I understand that this is kind of a summary of the project, and of course, being member of the boards of several companies and then working in academia partly, I would say that of course it's simpler for technological universities, of technology, because they are theoretically closer to the real economics. And then, of course, the more thorough, more kind of difficult situation as regards to the general university. General universities has to be more, in the way, more ambitious to reach out to real economics. But then my own experience regarding cooperating with University of Gdańsk, especially the faculties in Sopot, which are related to economics and management, and recently with SGH, Polish abbreviation, which is Main School of Commerce in Warsaw, which is kind of University of Economics. It's kind of very positive because they are down to earth regarding what are the needs, not only of the business, but also in case of Professor Tłoczyński, for example. He was an author of the evaluation of the importance of regional airports in Poland, done not for business side, but prepared for Civil Aviation Office of Poland, which is the central governmental institution dealing with in general aviation market, similar to Federal Aviation Administration in the US, for example. And then important thing is, which was very positive in cooperation with Darek, I would say that this was not just one-off question and then the whole document prepared, but that was kind of exchange of views constantly, influencing each other, the party which is strictly on the market, which are the regional airports, and then him as an author, or his team, because that was a teamwork, of course. And then the result was very kind of recognized by all of the partners. So I would express that was a constant contact, because when you prepare some kind of a document or some task, you make some project, you need to exchange the views on the daily basis, right? So and improve and change on the daily basis. So I would say that in this respect, that was very positive, fruitful, both for the party which was responsible to receive this document, which is a state office of civil aviation, and then of course for the entire community of regional airports in Poland. Of course, the general mood, I would summarize, is that the business entities, specifically from manufacturing and partly from services, also from service business, we are, as an airport, we are a broad service business, right? We are a landlord which is dealing with different providers of different services, and the general mood, of course, especially I think not only in Poland but in our country as well, is that the first, when we think academia, cooperating with academia, the first thing coming to our mind is the technological university, with the good case of Rzeszów, southeastern Poland, so-called Aviation Valley. It's primarily technological universities, but I think such a project like this one, I would say, has to find the new ways, new doors to be open to cooperate with universities, specifically with not only with biology in the field of medicine, for example, or some other fields of chemistry, but regarding the real economy with the faculties of economics and management. That's important. And of course, we should not say that it's difficult. I think at the first meeting, when we had the opportunity to meet some months ago, Right. No, that was the physical meeting in Sopot. I remember telling you the story on one of the conferences I attended in Amsterdam when I wanted to be polite, and I said that you Dutch are so well organized regarding cooperating with business, your higher education institutions. I said, no, dear gentlemen, stop. Only Americans are good in that. We are just tracing them, right? And we have the way to do in improving this cooperation. So from our side, we are looking at Dutch. I said, oh, they are the masters. But from their side, they say, no, we have a lot of lessons to be learned still. So in this respect, it's ongoing process of improvement. I would say that my practical experience with these two institutions, the other story, maybe the last story also, there is kind of a mood in business to cooperate with, as usual, with renowned brands, and this in this respect also this concerns also the academic institutions that if the university is famous in the way that it's brand like University of Gdańsk or SGH or Jagiellonian University or some others, if the brand is well known, well recognized, right? It's also simpler to start and execute cooperation with business. So this is as usual on the market, in the market economy, on the market in general, right? You have to have a recognized brand, and then you can approach your customer in the simpler way. So this is how I understand it. And of course, I'm more than encouraged, and I have privately maybe more contacts with academia, but I try to always try to convince my colleagues from boards of different, not only airports, but also seaports. I know them well. And from other, transport related businesses that if you have interesting subject to be deepened, to be raised, to be, researched, go to academia. So it's not a simple process, but I would say it's developing. It's becoming more and more natural but of course it's also the own background of the managers is important. If someone is a graduate of the technological university, he or she would also always, turn into their own kind of sphere, right? So Polytechnica in Poland, right, rather than the general university. But this is, of course, to be solved when particular university or particular higher education institution specializes in a specific field. So, but of course, it's always a bias like this that I graduated technological, I'm normal general university, so I will turn to my colleagues, let's say, because I understand this part of academia. So, but some others, my colleague, for example, from the transport business, the logistics and forwarding company in Gdańsk, located near Gdańsk, huge company, more than 500 lorries they have, and he graduated Maritime University, and he made some projects, several of them, with the Maritime University in Gdynia, because this is his kind of, entourage society. So, but it's positive in general because he turns openly to academia. So, and then of course it's an internal competition also between academic institutions. So this I would say it's my view, which is positive, and then of course successful cases are important. When I can say to my colleagues that, okay, don't worry about that, it will not be wasting of money and time. This will be really real outcome. And I always, several times, I presented this case Darek made for Civil Aviation Office. This was well researched. This was presented at the Polish press agency headquarters. So with all the, for all the journalists to make it public, to make it successful. So it's the marketing campaign behind the business academia cooperation is also important, to present the successful cases then, and then encouraging others to kickstart such a cooperation. So I would say that this is my overview. Thank you.
Thank you. You have touched three very important points here. I will start with the last one. You mentioned this report, which our colleague Professor Darek has prepared with his team, but it's important for both worlds. It's also important for us, the academia, because it's a part of the so-called the third evaluation criterion. Just to explain to non-Polish participants and listeners, every 4 years we have our scientific evaluation of our scientific activities, and one of the components is what was the real impact, the impact on real life, on real companies. And if we can show, we can demonstrate that this impact was real, yes, then of course we score better. And this criterion is will be even more important in the next evaluation, which is happening at the end of this year. It's every 4 years. So it is important to us as well, to academia world. But there are two other takes from what you said. One is that you said that the brand is very important. So the universities need to work to be recognized, and they also need to have a certain scientific standing. If they are not recognized as serious partners, as the institutions which are well established, have good scientists, produce a good quality output, then obviously nobody will want to cooperate with them. And the third thing, third take from what you said, is that take care of your graduates, because they are the easiest business connection. They will turn to you, back to you first, before asking someone else. So have an offer for them. So talking about the offer, the universities usually, especially the general university, like Humboldtian University, the traditional university, which we are and a lot of our partners are, has a very good, or at least good, yes, they are good in research, but they are rather not so good in transforming this research into business. And this is one of the reasons why we as a University of Gdańsk thought that maybe it's good to have a special unit, a company, our own company, which will be able to do this. And this is the genesis of the Univentum Labs. And I would like to ask Andrzej now, what are the activities of Univentum Labs for the development of cooperation between university and its socio-economic environment?
Okay, so I will try to explain and to say something about our activities, maybe then about some barriers, but I will start from the issue, connected with our main 2 or maybe 3 activities. So as you told, Univentum Labs is the University of Gdańsk special purpose company, and our job is to make maybe we can try to make easy for business to work with the university in a way that feels normal for business, because universities are something different. So one of the problems from my point of view is the situation from the company which try to find with whom to talk at the university. So instead of company trying to talk to many different unions, we are trying to, they will come to us, and we sit down, define the real problem they want solved, connect with the right researchers and labs, agree on scope and price, and then we handle the agreement. In short, we try to create one conversation that leads to one project. But there's one possible complication. We are not the only door at the university. University of Gdańsk has also the Center for Technology Transfer, which generally protects results and licensing policy. And also the university has the University Office for Analysis and Expertise, which prepares expert works and opinions for external clients. Some topics are, from my point of view, are better led by the Office for Analysis and Expertise, especially expert opinions where the name of the university matters, where this
This brand, which we were talking about.
something like this. But some topics are better led by us, especially commercial work that needs fast decisions, flexible timing, and business side contract. For example, yesterday, in one day, we were able to almost. How to say, to make a really good contract with a huge company from maritime area, which for this company time is very very important. So we were able, as a company, not as a university, but as a company, to in one day to sign a contract, and to start work, and this work will finish in 2 days. So it's something, I suppose, that from the university part, it's really hard to organize. But I will try to back to my general, work about this. Something 3 doors at the university. We try to coordinate closely with this transfer office and with this expert analysis and expertise office, and we will try not to block each other. So because it could be a challenge for outside companies. Most of the time this works well, and from my point of view, creates a real synergy. The client gets academic authority and business speech. But our work is not only doing projects for companies, we also help to build companies, and even from our point of view, it's very important. Together with researchers from our university, we helped create 8 spin-off companies in areas like biotechnology, chemistry, ICT, and oceanography. One, I suppose, quite interesting information, one of these spin-offs is now close to finalizing an investment round. Outside investors are ready to put 10 million zlotys, so about 2.5 million euro into the company. For us, this is proof that this model works. Knowledge from the university can become a company that private capital wants to fund. And I hope that in November, we'll be able to speak about this investment openly and loudly. And the last, I suppose, activity, we trying to build the pipeline for the future. Through our Talent Bridge program, we mix students teams, especially from the IT faculty, under supervision of some faculty members. And these teams work on real problems from partner companies. The company brings a brief, the team brings methods and tools, and the result is not just an idea, but something that company can actually use, and that company pay for this work. We also run the Young Fahrenheit competition, which looks for early career researchers, PhD candidates, and who have ideas that could have commercial potential. So we are trying to, to create a supply of ideas, because of course there are not lots of, from my point of view, maybe I'm wrong, but I have worked for years at this company, and generally we have problems with finding really a real ideas with great potential. But as I told earlier, these 8 companies which were created by employees of the university are working on the market and trying to develop and also the university has some money from this company as a how to say in English dividend.
Dividend, yes.
Dividend. So generally we're trying to turn university knowledge into business value, and this is our most important activity from my point of view.
Okay, I have one question. We already, Tomasz already told us about this difference between the general university and technical university, but as a general university, we have a number of faculties. And do you think, Andrew, that there are some specific faculties which are more likely to produce some output which is useful to business than the others? Or maybe it's not really the faculty, but the people, that finding the right people over there?
So from my experience, as I told earlier, the spin-off companies and even our revenues come generally from work from biology department, from biotechnology department, from mathematics, physics, and informatics, and from chemistry. So I suppose it's maybe only my suggestion that is connected with the fact that these faculties, these employees use in labs and they have to use university infrastructure. But people, from example, from the economics, from management, I suppose that they also good at commercialization, but they generally use only their brain and their knowledge, and just they can do it without using our company. So it's some kind of some structural maybe problems. So from our point of view, maybe it's connected with this word from President Szymczak that he told about technical universities. So from our point of view, as I told, chemistry, biotechnology also connect in some areas is connected with technology and with hard results.
Okay, thanks. So I have to carry this question slightly transformed to Tomasz. Do you think that general university is worse partner than technical university? Is there a huge difference in cooperation between those types of universities? Obviously, the research output of the technical university is something very applicable to the business case, yes, a technology, let's say. And the university, the general university, is more a basic science, yes? So do you think that it impacts how you cooperate, or maybe it is more that you need just to find the right people to do it, that it is regardless of what type of university it is?
It's of course kind of generalization what I have said, and what regards to your question, because we can add military academies as well, like Technological Military Academy in Warsaw or Naval Academy in Gdynia. I just talked to the dean, which is a commander, which is a uniformed person as well from the other side in academia, that they started, for example, the cybersecurity studies, and they attract a lot of students because this is a popular subject for postgraduate studies, cybersecurity. And then, of course, technological university opens such courses, but people come to them in bunches because this is a military academy, meaning they know something secret. So this is also this brand of this part of academia, that okay, because they have NATO personnel teaching them how to fight, you know, Russian, you know, electronic war as well. So they should present or propose more attractive studies than civilian technological universities. So this is always a complex kind of, you know, I would say perseverance, how students or future students perceive the universities. So for example, there is a third basket, which concerns the military academies, because they are more into, especially nowadays, they can kind of provide specific knowledge which are difficult to reach out from the civilian, let's say, higher education institution. So the picture is more complex, I would say. But of course, answering purely to your question, I would say that this is an established world. Business and technological universities, they know how to, both sides know how to cooperate. And now the General and Humboldtian University, as you nicely, you know, called it, this is the learning process which started already. But of course, we are slightly behind, right? Over here, they are technological universities in front of this race, let's say. Then I would say military academies, because they also look for kind of business cooperation, right? And then I would say general universities, which have, as Andrzej rightly pointed out, all of this biotechnology, biology, you know, real science, chemistry, physics, right? It's important because some of the kind of problems and challenges, you know, called by the business are really complex. So in this respect, and of course, the best way is to help the most developed companies, right? We are very good manufacturing company, but we need to catch up with the West, with the best, you know, tech-oriented, you know, businesses. So in this respect, all these innovative businesses, they need kind of, you know, pure science, access to pure science, right? Not only technological, practical implementation, which can be done simply by in the simpler way by technological universities. But in this respect, more and more, my understanding is more and more science, real pure science, need to be transferred into the specifically innovative businesses. So this is the field which can be conquered by Humboldtian universities, right? That's the chance. I would treat it as a chance, not as an obstacle, problem, or real challenge, but as a chance to reach out, especially to this, you know, innovative business. And the technological universities can do it into established businesses, already established universities. But of course, we have a competition of, for example, military academies, which used to be very closed, right? But now they try to reach out to the market as well, because they have something to show up, to propose, right? In December, I just informed Darek, in December there will be another edition of civil military, you know, aerospace conference in Warsaw. I'm a speaker of this conference for several years already, and it used to be strange some years ago. Now the case of dual use is normal, right? So people are coming to this conference because, you know, some years ago it was very strange. How you combine the civilian, you know, airspace, let's say, with the military one? Now it's more than obvious. So also some external factors kind of, you know, push us into the solutions which were strange, you know, perceived strange some years ago. So I would say that we should, and then of course the case of spin-offs which are well developed at general universities already. I just sent Darek, I got the confirmation now, the Congress, the Science for Business, which will be in mid-November in Warsaw, the first Congress organized by our Ministry of Science and Higher Education. So even the authorities kind of, you know, already figure out that this has to be developed, this has to be talked about, you know, and of course I would say I checked the program, so they would like to also to present some Western cases, let's say Western cases, because we still have to catch up, right? We know our weaknesses as in general, as a country, right? As a country, that it's very difficult to start the cooperation with academia, between academia and business. But when it starts, I am the or company, not the first one. I am in the board now, because earlier on we also had a Leonardo da Vinci program, European Union program of training, professional training. We got grants from Brussels. So from grant handling personnel, for example, in my previous company. So this is kind of, you can start from for example, like that case, you can start from being the partner in training your staff, and then you are going deeper into more academic fields. So this is also the case, that maybe not the academic, problem or academically related problem may be the first, but you will experience cooperating with education, with academia through the European Union program. And then you see, oh, it's interesting. It's not only theory, it's very practical, right? It's not wasting of time, it's value added. And then I would say this was the case of my former company, that we started from being a consortium member of the 36 months project for training and for making the personnel more international regarding ground handling. Of course, it was simple because English is a language of aviation, and then of course aviation is by definition international business. But interesting case, and then we started to cooperate, in fact, with Military Technology Academy in Warsaw in getting the electrical equipment. They started to manufacture green, power units for military in clear colors. Every piece of equipment for military is in a green color. And then we talked to them and said, why you not enter the civilian market? You are pretty cheap regarding, comparing to some Western manufacturers. You have an experience. You are a spin-off, because that is a spin-off of Military Technological Academy. And then they entered the civilian market, right? The ground power units, so-called. So of course they have to, put it in the different colors, very attractive in the way, because its attractiveness is important on the market, because it's a competitive market. So they entered the market. And nowadays, I think they are 50-50, civilian, military. So they, from 100%, devoted to the military market, now they split it, which is very safe for the company as well, for the spin-off, right? To have, strong legs, both of them. But it took time, of course. And then, but it's also, it's another case, because this Military Technological Academy is technological university, but uniform. But it's still, they are close to the market because they are kind of technological university. But of course, I would say that the cases I know, and I might try to make popular, more and more popular, is cooperating with. I do not have an experience with chemistry, faculty of chemistry or biology, but I have a practical, positive experience with the faculty of economics and faculty of management. And of course, important, maybe last comment. The important thing is that, for example, University of Gdańsk, both of the faculties in Sopot are all well known in Poland for dealing with transport economics. So this specialization is also important, right? Because when you think about transport economics, theoretically you have two higher education institutions in mind, one in Warsaw, one in Gdańsk or Sopot, right? So this specialization, this renowned branch that you check the publications, and you have hundreds of publications regarding you know, transport economics. So you always turn to this place, right? Because, oh, they have the experience, both maritime, aviation, road transport, railway, so they can have intermodality, and so connecting. So they all people say, okay, even I do not know academics there in Sopot, I see that their list of publications is so huge, so, you know, kind of important that surely they are specialists, right? But of course there is a competition. Let's say SGH in Warsaw. So in this respect, and then the troubled thing at academia is that they are all kind of kingdoms, right? Kingdoms by themselves, and then the academic world has to learn that the certain and obvious thing is also competition on the academic market. It's also a competition, right? So it's no longer kind of, you know, established world, safe, but it's still, you know, competition. You have to fight. You have to fight first thing, and then the other one present with the good public relations campaign, present the results that yes, we are specialists and we are proud of that. We show up to the world that we are specialists. So this is an important, and of course you are right. What you mentioned, Przemysław, that graduates are important, because the first thing the graduate is always turning back to his own university and his own good, you know, memories from youth. So that's of course clear that it's always the first choice. So I know SGH in Warsaw well, but my first choice always would be University of Gdańsk and Sopot, you know, faculties, because I know that they are specialists there, right? So this is my understanding.
Thanks. So the specialization is kind of important. So when you are in any faculty, you need to specialize and be very good in something which is not that big. Yes, because like you can be not so good, but know something about everything, or you can know everything about something. Yes, so this is the second case, which is more important from the business perspective.
Specifically that the kind of an order from the business side always concerns the niche, particular niche. So exactly, you are right that you need this niche specialist, right? So that's important.
Okay, thanks. So I have one more question, and this one more to Andrew, because I know that Tomasz will simply employ such a person. Let's say that we have a student who has a great idea, or at least the student believes that it is a great business idea. And of course, for Tomasz, it's an easy thing, because if he notices and evaluates, oh yes, this is a good idea, I want this employee, then he simply employs him. But let's consider a different case, that the student wants to work for his own or her own and wants to create a business. So a question to Andrew: do you think that universities are a good place to create businesses from scratch? And can we somehow support students in starting their own businesses?
So maybe I will answer to your question, but maybe I would like to tell something about according to this Tomasz.
Okay.
Yes. Because even at your opinion, there are some words about barriers connecting to cooperation between universities and business. So from my point of view, the main barrier is that university world and business world work in different ways. So on the university side, we have labs, we have methods, we have quality rules, we have some internal procedures, but on the company side, you have deadlines, budget approvals, and something like risk management. So both sides are logical, but they, from my point of view, that they don't always move at the same speed or speak the same language. Also, maybe it's, I suppose that maybe it's not typical only in Poland, but we also, I see something more human. So business and academia often simply do not make time for each other, and both sides are a bit afraid of being judged by other side. Business worries that science will not be practical enough, but researchers worry that business will try to reduce their work to can we sell it tomorrow. As we talked about this biology and chemistry, I think that of course it's connected with the fact that they use laboratories, but also people who work at this department, they don't have such a experience in cooperation with business like people from management department and economics department. So I suppose that we have to help them. So I think that lack of trust is still a real barrier. And the last thing, timing is where it is hard most. A company will tell us very often we need this answer fast. But on the other hand, the company sometimes needs weeks or months even to approve final scope and payment. And maybe, of course, it's not a good example, but we had a case where we delivered as a company, as a Univentum Labs, we delivered a large project, 2 million zlotych project. The client paid this money, and still nobody on their side pick up the result. We are waiting more than a year. We have results in a fridge, and we are waiting. I don't know what does it mean. So I don't know what is the reason, but sometimes something like this happen. But now I will try to answer to your question about are university good places to learn business? Yes, something like this.
Business, to start, like to organize, or should the students or researchers, because you are helping researchers, and I think that you touched a very important thing also, that some researchers are simply not interested in running business, either because they are afraid, or maybe because simply they just are not interested in this. Yes, they are interested in research, not in commercializing this. So maybe this is why you are created, yes, why you exist, to help them in that way. But the real question is, do you think that if someone from university, yes, a staff or a student, yes, wants to create business, should do this trying to find a help in organizing this business at the university level, at least for instance, through Univentum Labs or other vehicles, or they can just go outside, and the university maybe is not the best place because obviously we need to have some procedures and so on and so on.
So it's not easy question. As I told earlier, as a Univentum Labs, we run a talent bridge program where we can try to connect students and business, we are trying to, under the supervision of some, as I told, faculty members of IT department. They run some real projects, and they learn how to do it, how to sell it, how to prepare these ideas. But at the Univentum Labs, it's not a large company. Generally, we have one person at the company for the who works every day, and also we have members of the board. One is Professor Mrozowska, and the second person I. So it's not a huge company with not huge budget and with not huge
But with the
opportunities.
purpose, yes, the idea
yes.
that
But I think that university brings together ideas, talent, and technical capacity. So we have laboratories, we have labs, we have something, you know, what can I say, scientific supervision. You can also, as a, for example, worker of the university, you can use university name when you speak to clients or investors. So I think that matters, especially at the beginning. And but there are also challenges. So in Poland, we still see research. We realize research that is interesting for the scientists, but not very important for the market. Generally, you have some situations that a company asks us about something, and the employee of university say that they have no time because they have classes, they have exams, they have to prepare a paper, they have to write a book, and they have no time. And you know, we don't have tools to make this by ourselves.
To force, yes.
Yes,
I
yes,
understand
yes.
this.
Because as you told, of course, there is third criteria, but the most important is the first criteria of the, you know, so everyone told that, okay, it's the most important, I have to write something. So I have to prepare a book, article, and so on, so on. So, but I think that we as a company, as a Univentum, we are trying to be active. We try to act early. We talk to companies. Generally, our president Sylwia Mozowska is really very energetic person, and we are trying to connect needs to people inside the university, and we are trying to, you know, to create some opportunities for employees and for students to learn business and to build business. I think that it gives credibility, infrastructure, but it's really challenge, of course, for us.
Thank you. Thank you. And since we are closing our time almost, I would like, before I wrap it up, I would like to ask the audience maybe for one question, if you have any. Do you want to ask some additional question? Please do so. Sandra, please.
Yes, thank you so much. Really interesting conversations. And I really learned a lot on how to collaborate with the business, lots of ideas. I do have one question. I believe it was Thomas who mentioned that in order to have good collaboration with commercial partners, you need to have a good branding on your university. So how do you build this university branding? Do you have any tips? Is it more about communication, going to events? Yeah, please.
I would say I am partly at the academia. Primarily, I am in business. So, of course, the market-oriented tools like the publications, like conferences. For example, Darek, if we participate at least 3 times a year in Warsaw in important transport-related business conference, not academic. I mean, academic, they are great. They are, you know, I just yesterday I attended in the evening the interesting conference at Kazimierz University, the end of that very kind of thorough. But of course, we need to have this, you know, input, direct input that academics act as practitioners, so they do not talk theory only, but they kind of implement this theoretical knowledge, the research they have into practical world. And important thing, as Darek, for example, participated the biggest aviation congress I talked about, you know, market-oriented things, and he was a member of the panel regarding lifelong learning, because aviation is changing, as many other, you know, fields in a real economy. And then, of course, we have to, this is the role of academia, that academia has to popularize this notion of lifelong learning, that this is not like 30 years ago when I graduated and some of our colleagues, right? And then some of our, some of my friends from my promotion said, okay, never again, right? Never again, we just finished our learning. No, this is the time now when lifelong learning is kind of a must everywhere in the world, right? And we are, you are from developed world, we are fortunately, you know, again, from developed world. So we have to, and then of course, this, the difficult thing for public higher education institutions, that they have a mission, which is good. They have a mission. But from the other side, the members of this community of public higher education institutions has to act as a players in a competitive market. So they have to, of course, the student is someone whom you have to teach to make him a master of particular knowledge, science, right? But from the other side, he's a customer, right? So, and especially for this postgraduate studies, for this lifelong learning. So people who would like to take part in lifelong learning, in postgraduate studies courses, you know, they come for the newest knowledge. They come for, not for theoretical knowledge, because they have online publications, they have books, right? But they would like, okay, they are the researchers, so they know more than I do. So maybe I will obtain the knowledge in which direction my branch of economy will go, right? So kind of a future-oriented knowledge, and this is important. And then, of course, this needs, for academic personnel, it needs kind of strong connection with the market, because they have to observe how the market reacts, right? And then and then of course the creation, the maybe the last thing, the creation of the new, as this is a broad discussion about this new kind of professions which are not existing on the market. One profession from our general field of knowledge is logistics management or supply chain management crisis manager, which used to be such specialization and you know, military academies, because on the front you always have a crisis to get some additional staff, additional people, to take people wounded, you know, soldiers wounded out of this place. So they have a constant, they act in a constant crisis. But after the pandemic, during the war, unfortunately, in Europe, you need to have a civilian trained logistics or supply chain management crisis managers. So they have to, you know, from one day to the other, they have to switch off from one supplier which is under the war or closed, the market is closed because of this or that pandemic, right? Different reasons. And then you have to find out the same spare parts or you know, or different products from the other part of the world. Not only to find out them, but also to this you know, spare parts has to have the same, you know, regulatory papers, right? That they not only look the same, but they are also on paper the same. So they are checked. So in this respect, all the military academies started to, and this is the field for University of Gdańsk, for example, with all this, you know, practical experience in transport and logistics, that this new phenomena, new kind of the new brand, the new qualification, the new brand name, crisis manager in civilian world. So this is the perfect thing to be the first, also to be the leader, like cybersecurity and military academies, to be the first to offer, and then they will have students from all over the country and from some other places maybe, because okay, no one is offering that. They are capable, because they figure out that we need such a new profession, because when we talk about new professions, they are occurring every other day. They are occurring on the market, because we talk about the future, but this future is close to us, right? And this is from my, let's say, field, this supply chain management crisis managers is a perfect new kind of new profession, which is, of course, which was partly trained in military academies. We can find out some links and put another. And then I even talked once to Sylwia Mrozowska, I think, exactly that maybe we should start thinking on the Sopot base, which is in Sopot, you have all this management, transport economics, that this is a proper place because all the world will check, what they know about transport. And then they figure out, wow, they know something about transport, right? They are at the harbor city. They have big knowledge about the aviation. And then they say, oh, this is the good place to study, to pay for such a study. So this, I would say, we should not only talk about future professions, but start to make them, to try to train these people, right? Because you will always find this is the experience, I would say, maybe very last sentence, of my younger daughter when she's 9. When she was 7, I had some problem with learning English at 7, right, at the first grade, right? And then her very capable English teacher, the lady Kasia, told them, Ala, English is not a foreign language. And they said, God bless you, Kasia, because it's so simple for the children, so simple sentence, right? It's don't be afraid in this respect. Don't be afraid. It's not a foreign language because it's all around you. You switch a TV set and then you have 50, channels in English, so you can learn all the time, right? All the computer plays and all this, applications. So the simple sentence, how to convince the young child English is not a foreign language, right? So, and she said, oh, okay, it's not so complicated. I thought that I am so stupid I can never, reach out to that. And this was so great. And you can act in this way, that particular knowledge is not a foreign thing for us, right? So, and then of course, use this opportunity. It's also competitive, because every higher education institution would like to have this postgraduate courses and make money on that. But to be very specific, very precise, like this, Naval Academy and cybersecurity, that you are always distinguished from the other players in this competitive market, right? So because the young people are convinced that, okay, the learning will never stop, lifelong learning. They know that they live in such a world. They will come back to academia, right? So this is my understanding.
Thank you, Tomasz, for advice. And Andrew, okay, but 2 sentences only, since we are
2 sentences. Okay, it's connected. Something. Thanks for this information about Sylwia Mrozowska. So maybe tomorrow I will talk with Sylwia about this. But you talked about cybersecurity. So at the university, we are trying to set up some studies at the at the mathematics department. So our physics can work on this. So even we are trying to commercialize something, ideas from this area. So we are working on it, and even we have some, maybe not very huge, but some success. And the second, maybe connected to the Sandra question, I think that very important is visibility of university, of our professors, of our doctors. So visibility and trust, on the other hand, are important, and good execution of project create opportunities for new projects. So a strong recommendation method, because word of mouth marketing, I think that is powerful. So if we realize one project for the company and its success, the company is open for the next one. So, and we have such examples of working. So but of course, this visibility to taking part in meetings, so we have to be visible at this time.
Okay, thank you both. And maybe as a last words from me, additional tip. we never have a problem as a Faculty of Economics, which is in the Catalysis project, a testbed for the ideas for the University of Gdańsk, but we never have a problem with, as you can see, as having our business partners with us. And I can share with you why it is so. From 2011, we have experts board. We established an experts board. We meet twice yearly, and we discuss with our business partners what we will be doing over next half a year. They tell us what are the market changes, what are the expectations, how we can amend what we are doing, and we are in a constant connection. We work together and we meet together, and building this network and maintaining this network, I think, is also very critical for the universities. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time, and thank you all the people who are with us here, and also I hope all who will be listening to our recording that you will learn and take something interesting out of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much.